guys, welcome back to Tykes TV. Thank you for joining as ever. So as you can tell from the title, transfer activity is back around at Oakwell. Obviously with Kiefer Moore going yesterday or over the weekend, whenever really. It was going. I think it was pretty obvious he were going. The Reds have been looking to find a like-for-like replacement and have apparently, according to Sky Sports, put in a club record bid of about £1.5 million for striker Sandro Kulenovic. Now, I'm not going to sit here, I say it all the time, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say we know everything about this lad without, obviously we're looking to detail and everything like that, but having obviously, listen, you've never heard of him, I've never heard of him up until now, but highly rated, about 6'2", plays in the Polish First Division, and he's Croatian. He's actually been dubbed as, again, you know, for some reason I sometimes hate doing it because you look at players who are full of potential and, you know, sometimes it never pays off. But I hope it does if this deal does go through. But he is apparently being dubbed as the next Mario Mandzukic, which is a huge, huge statement to make for such a young lad at only 19 years of age. Now, He's been at Juventus actually on a loan spell from what I've looked at. Obviously, I've not managed to find it if he ever played there, whether they were on trial. If he was on trial, I'm assuming so. But he's played at Croatian, I think under 14s all the way up to now. So that's always good to see that they see something in him as well. I've looked at some of his goals. His goals are really well taken. A lot of them in the box. And he looks as though, you know, when he's in front of goal, he is pretty dangerous. Coming to England, coming to the Championship, coming to Barnsley, you know, it's going to be a huge step up from I would say, from the league that he's been playing in at the moment, though. Whether that goes through or not, I don't know. Listen, we've got that money to spend now. We've got 4 million, or rumoured to be around 4 million for Kiefer Moore. So we can spend as much as as much as that as we want, really. I would also say, though, some of that money, Daniel Stendel still isn't tied down. I think he would be as big a signing as any player coming into the club, getting Daniel Stendel a new contract. I'd actually think he might see out what happens this season with us before making any sort of agreement with the club. But we could also, what I'm trying to get is that money that we have got for Kiefer Moore could always be used in getting Stendel signed on. That's my point of that. I think that could be Stendel signing on would be a huge, huge coup, because I think if Stendel does leave the club, it would be a huge loss. You saw the players on Saturday, you saw how well they're playing under him. It's as though they will die on that pitch for Daniel Stendel, and I couldn't express how gutted I would be if we did lose Daniel Stendel. But let's get back to Sandro. In terms of Sandro's youth, he started at Dynamo Zagreb before obviously signing for Liga Warsaw. And then going, I'm guessing, like I said, on trial at Juventus. Now, up from 2018, he's made a total of 15 appearances, scoring 4 goals. Now, you don't want to take too much into stats, and this lad is full of potential. At 19 years of age, you've got to say he's going to be probably one for the future. Now, I'm excited regardless, because we don't want to sit here and say, oh, we've never heard, why can't we get somebody? All these players, majority of these players that we've signed, most of us have never heard of, and I would be very miffed if you have heard of every single one of them before they did come to Barnsley. But we're the type of club that bring in unknown talent, and like I've said, it's almost as if we do so much research on players, and then obviously big clubs who don't do that research come in and grab them off us, and that's what really pains me about football. And it really does, guys, it really, really does. I think that players, that clubs see us as our scouting network, I take my hat off to it, I really, really do, and there's no reason why this lad can't be as good as any one of them other players that have come into the club. Listen, nothing's finalised yet, it's still early days regarding that, but I think it would be a good idea from the club to bring in an extra striker. I do think, I genuinely do, I think another striker on board would be ideal, because obviously losing Moore, he did request a desire to leave the club, so I think we should replace him, in all fairness. I fully trust in the strikers that are here, but you've got to look at the fact, if Woodrow gets injured, who's going to step up? We know Chaplin can play up front, TM can play up front, but as like for like, complete total striker, I think it would be ideal to get another striker on board. Now, we're not the only team to be actually looking at Sandro. There has been, I believe, Brentford and Forest have also been looking for his signature. But as we've seen in the past, you look at Malik Wilkes, Hull were looking at him, he chose us. So let's not lose too much hope on that. Of this deal going through. End of the day, you know, Brentford have spent quite a bit of money. Forest, you know, who knows what happens with them regarding transfers, managers, etc. So I think Barnsley would be the ideal choice, really, really do, you know. And playing under Daniel Stendel, I think he's at an age, 19, it's a young age for a footballer, but he will become such an even more better player than he already is under Daniel Stendel. I firmly believe that. I think it would be the right choice for him to come in, and I think under Stendel he'd thrive under Stendel personally. So we'll wait and see what happens in the next few days, guys. But yeah, looking forward to hoping that a deal goes through regarding this. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, what you think of him, whether you've watched it. I mean, I've watched his highlights, a couple of his, some of his goals. I mean, where he's been, the league he's been playing in, Jesus Christ, I think there were bloody Tesco's across from one at backs at goals, a sort of big car park and everything like that. But for us, to what's been reported as a club record bid, 1.5 million, shows surely to God we're not going to throw money away at a player who we must have done his research on him. We must have done some work on him. So I've every faith in the board and I've every faith in Stendel to bring through another player to the club, which would be a really good signing. I hope he thrives and I hope that, you know, he does help improve the squad, and I'm 100% sure he will. But listen, it's still early days, he's not signed yet, but fingers crossed, you know, a deal gets done and we'll wait and see. Even if it's before Wednesday, that'd be ideal, but we'll wait and see. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your comments and I'll see you in the next video.